Why geometry? Why? What's the point? Pardon the pun. I mean, when we're kids, right, we're taught our ABCs, our 1, 2, 3s, right? And as we go through school, we learn pure geometric principles. Numbers, counting, percentages, fractions, algebra, trigonometry, calculus, you know what I mean? The Pythagorean theorem. We're taught all these things in school, right? How much of it do we actually use in our day-to-day life, right? Very little. Even in applied, where geometry is applied in real life, you know, accounting and surveying land and stuff like that, it's not really used that much. So it kind of begs the question of, like, what was the point of learning all that, right? And one of the reasons I'm starting this channel is because I feel like it does have a much broader application, geometry, than we're normally taught. Because the principles of geometry, they're just there, they're unchanging, they're eternal. Take, for example, like even and odd, right? Like, what is even and odd in numbers, and why is that so fundamental, right? Like, why is 2 even and 3 odd, right? There's a lot of things like that where it's not really extrapolated upon in real life. It's more just like, this is what even is, this is what odd is, and these are just the rules, or whatever you want to have them. The reason why I'm choosing the Platonic solids is because it's one of those things where you scratch a little bit beneath the surface and you see, oh wait, there can only be 5 of the shapes that meet these criteria, and like, why is that the case? That's kind of my starting point for this channel. Like, how can the principles of geometry be extrapolated to the lives that we live? Because for all intents and purposes, I get the feeling that a lot of people just live their lives without ever using hardly any of what they learned growing up. Like, yeah, we communicate with each other using words, and we send text messages and stuff like that and emails. But think about what life was like before there was letters and numbers. Just the ignorance and chaos that would have been. And it feels to me like a lot of us kind of still live at that stage where it's like, we're not really using numbers and words. It almost feels like we're devolving in a sense, because even a lot of like the higher mathematical stuff, it's just like computers are doing it now. And I'm not saying that we need to be doing all that stuff. Like, it does make a lot of sense to outsource that stuff to computers. But in a lot of ways, I get the sense that we're regressing as a civilization if we let those things go. Not necessarily that we have to be doing all the brute force calculations that computers are doing for us right now, but that there are certain principles in math and geometry that apply to your day-to-day life, the way that you see the world, the way that, and that's really the purpose of this channel. And yeah, I just want to keep taking it further, exploring this, and see where it leads.